Hey everyone, it's MarQue, and I'm not sure that everybody knew this. Yeah, I worked for Spirit Flight Attendant for 15 years, and it's funny, as soon as I start talking to you, planes start flying overhead, so I hope you can hear me. Um, what a wild ride this has been, and I've just really keyed into some of the stuff that's going on and wanted to say hey and shout out Hunter Peterson, because I missed him at our actual little event that we were doing the other night. I went by to say, of course, good luck and miss you, and let's keep each other lifted and be there to support each other as we go through this process. And I have to say that I did what I usually do, which is do a video on how I'm feeling, how I'm coping as a coach, because that's that side business. And if you know me, you know that I have at least 5 side hustles, as we call them. When I started with Spirit back in 2012, I flew about a year or so and then wrote a book called Friendly Tips for Flying Trips. It's on Amazon, you can grab it, because there was so much interesting stuff that I was learning now, being in aviation, being part of the crew, and then also being on the plane with your passengers or your guests, right? That was really interesting. Spirit has its own culture and had its own culture. And so that book was a way for me to write myself out of insanity. The things that people should know, little tips, friendly tips for flying trips, so that you can prepare better for your in-flight. Well, that is part of, I guess, 2 other or 3 other things that I do. If you knew me from years ago, you knew I was one of the second Black Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall. And I don't talk about the entertainment career very much in the uniform. Why? Because they're totally different, right? And then the question does come up, what are you doing here? Well, like everybody else, I've got to eat, and Spirit became my bread and butter job outside of entertainment. I did have the fortunate career that I still tour. To this day, I still do perform. Here in Las Vegas, I perform. I still go on tour and perform. There are a couple of different groups that I work with that perform. And so when you're in the performing arena, you're not really talking about a bread and butter, because that's the creative side of who you are. And people want that illusion. They want to see you as, that. And so once again, I have another book called Kicking the Odds, My Dream, Vision, and Reality of Becoming a Radio City Rockette. It's also on Amazon. Now, why do I tell you these things? Because I'm out of a job, right? But I'm still pursuing life. I'm still pursuing my goals, dreams, aspirations, and desires. I had, again, the fortunate life to be a speaker, have a coaching platform and program to mentor, a nonprofit. Now, all of these things are your volunteer army, so to speak. So you don't get rich doing those things. You just enrich your community doing those things. You're giving back so that life has a humane, a compassionate component and side to it, right? So, of course, with Discover and Live Your Dream Life, my platform, you'll find yet another book for you to live your dreams. 7 Steps to Discovering and Living Your Dream Life. All right, that's enough for my plugs on how I'm trying to continue to support myself. Let's get back to Hunter. Spirit could really exist again in that let's buy Spirit 2.0. We are in America. This is the world of free enterprise. There are people that have enough money to step in and do some of these things. We know that the aviation or airline industry is volatile. to say the least. We know the stock market, right? Some people put investments in and you watch things go up and down. It's risky, it is. But an airline that is owned by the people, for the people, by the people. First of all, for all of those people who said that they would never fly Spirit again, congratulations, you got your wish. But for those people who actually realize that if it wasn't for Spirit Airlines, you wouldn't have been able to fly, the rubber is meeting the road. So here we are. Now, I've been doing deep dives, and as a creative, I'm not really that paper pusher person, but I've looked into this, okay? We need some money. We have to buy the licensing, and it has to be done by the end of the week. And yes, we are sitting at Wednesday. So I'm reaching out, I'm calling out, I'm shouting out to those people that I know that have money and can jump on, go to that website, look up Hunter Peters, letsbuyspiritair.com, put the pledge in, make this a real viable thing. I have looked at all of the things necessary to do. I know the union has been in a talk with him. Like I said, I missed him at our little venue yesterday, and there are over 17,000 people out of work. So unemployment's going to be looking pretty dismal, right? There, right away, you just stopped having medical benefits, vision and dental. What is happening? Like, what am I doing? So yeah, I do. Boost the sales on Amazon for me, please. I'm not asking for a handout. I need a hand up. And in that, I'm actually already putting applications in for other places. However, if I can stay with this one, there's a whole big reason why we want to keep this airline afloat. And it's gone. So now we're resurrecting it in all actuality. But don't let this lay dormant. I mean, truly, I got a wild hair and just went, oh my gosh, this is possible. This can be doable. So if you know me, you know that I am always at the front line. I'm always raising my hand and volunteering. I work with Juneteenth, Nevada, right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we have our pageant that's coming up. I mentor our young ladies, 14 to 19 years old, to get them ready for a whole life ahead of them. And how do you do that? So I work with other professional women that come in as mentors to talk to them and talk about finances and talk about, healthcare, and talk about how to make the road to the dream life, your goals, dreams, your aspirations, and desires, how to do that. We're also looking at our community right now. We have mental health issues that are off the chain. I'm a newly created health advocate for Unicity, which is a company that has something called a FeelGreat pack. If you're struggling with diabetes, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, obesity, any of those things, this is a natural product to get you back and reset your metabolic health. So I'm trying to go from any and every area, and America makes that possible. Not only does it make it possible, it's viable, because if you're willing to work, if you're willing to get out there as an entrepreneur, as a person, you can live your dream life. I call it living your goals, your dreams, aspirations, and desire. Believe, achieve, and receive an extraordinary life of passion and purpose. So help Spirit Airlines resurrect it. Let's jump on this bandwagon with Hunter Peterson. Let's make sure that we are communicating and putting those pledges in. We've got to get that license back now, because once that goes away, then we're on a whole different trajectory, okay? So it's MarQue. I say your girl MarQue, MarQue Worldwide. Please, I'm asking you. This is a time that we as a people could come together, have an airline for the people, by the people, with the people. And for my Spirit colleagues out there, I know I always have some crazy thing that I'm advocating for or getting behind or so passionate about. Yeah, our life, our livelihood, yeah, I'm passionate about that. So, Hunter, if you didn't get my message, please reach out. I would look forward to getting back in touch with the union that I was involved in and saying, hey, let's do everything that we can to get this going and get this happening. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for going on Amazon and buying one of my books. Thank you for calling me to come and speak at your event, your location. Thank you for calling me and booking me for a gig. I really appreciate it. I do have a gig coming up here in Las Vegas in June, actually Mother's Day. So if you didn't get a ticket for Mother's Day, I'm at the Smith Center with a group called Radiance and Spectrum. And yes, I have to plug myself at this point. Why? I think the writing's on the wall, right? All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's bring Spirit back. Let's do it. We can do this. An airline for the people, by the people, supported. Yes,